Right then, petrol heads. Let's talk about a proper monster. I'm not on about some overgrown tractor or a pickup truck with delusions of grandeur. No, today's subject is a beast of the skies. The Airbus A380. This wasn't just a plane, it was a bloody hotel with wings. Airbus bet the farm on this thing, wanting to pack in more passengers than ever before and rule the long-haul flights. The A380 was meant to be the Concorde of its time, a statement of ambition and engineering prowess. And when it first took to the skies, it was hard not to be impressed. 2 decks, enough seats to fill a small football stadium, and quieter than a librarian's whisper. It was clear Airbus was onto something special. But like a heavyweight boxer, sometimes bigger isn't always better. The A380 faced some serious headwinds. Airlines found it tough to fill all those seats, and fuel costs started to bite. It's a sad truth that even the most impressive machines can fall victim to the cold, hard realities of economics. So buckle up as we take a trip through the A380's journey from its ambitious beginnings to its final landing. We'll delve into the engineering, the challenges, and the legacy of this remarkable aircraft. Building something this big wasn't going to be a walk in the park. It was like trying to assemble a jigsaw puzzle made of jumbo jets. Bits and pieces were built all over Europe, wings in the UK, the fuselage in Germany and France, and the tail in Spain. Then they had to ship these massive chunks to Toulouse in France for final assembly. Imagine the logistics of that. They used a special route called the itinéraire à grand gabarit. It involved massive ships, barges that could float a small island, and lorries bigger than your average terraced house. All this just to move the A380's parts around. And once everything was in place, the real work began. The A380 was made mostly of aluminum, but Airbus also used fancy carbon fiber composites for the wings and tail. This helped keep the weight down, which was crucial given the plane's size. And let's not forget the engine's 2 massive turbofans from either Rolls-Royce or Engine Alliance. These things could move a small moon. Before you let hundreds of passengers loose on a plane this big, you better make sure it's not going to fall out of the sky. The A380 went through a rigorous testing program. High-altitude tests, cold weather trials, you name it, they did it. The first flight was in 2005, and it was a momentous occasion. The big bird took off from Toulouse with a full crew and a bunch of very important-looking engineers. Over the next few months, the A380 racked up thousands of flying hours, proving it could handle anything the skies could throw at it. One of the most impressive tests was the evacuation drill. They crammed 853 people onto the plane and then simulated an emergency. Amazingly, everyone got out in under 80 seconds. That's faster than I can get out of a speeding Robin Reliant. By the end of 2006, the A380 had passed all the tests and received its certificates from the big dogs at EASA and the FAA. It was finally ready to carry passengers. The A380 finally entered service with Singapore Airlines in 2007. It was a big moment for Airbus and for aviation in general. The superjumbo was a hit with passengers. It was spacious, quiet, and had all the mod cons you could want at 30,000 feet. But the A380's story isn't all sunshine and rainbows. Remember those economic realities I mentioned? Well, they hit the A380 pretty hard. Airlines found it tough to fill all those seats, especially as fuel prices started to climb. And let's not forget about those pesky budget airlines offering cheap flights on smaller, more efficient planes. Airbus had bet big on the A380, and it hadn't quite paid off. In 2019, they made the tough decision to stop production. The last A380 rolled off the assembly line in 2021, marking the end of an era. But the A380's story isn't over yet. It might not have been the commercial success Airbus hoped for, but it remains an incredible feat of engineering. And who knows, maybe one day when we're all flying around in flying cars, we'll look back on the A380 as a pioneer, a bold experiment that helped push the boundaries of what's possible in the world of aviation.